Okay, so my original magazine was a parkour magazine. So when I started my masthead, I went to defont.com, found a font that was similar, and just replicated this in Illustrator, gave it an effect, and then brought it into Photoshop with a drop shadow and made sure it was behind this layer of my body. But instead, I want to give my new text for my Golf Digestiva, this kind of chrome effect. So this shows you what the numbers should be when you go to these menus. So to fast forward for you, here is my layered file. That's my layering, and I'm doing Golf Diva. Now, this is in front of the head, so I want this to be behind, so I'm going to click this layer, put it behind the head. But to give it this chrome effect, I already did this. This shows I have the bevel, the inner shadow, and the drop shadow. And again, this layer also with that. I don't know if I want that. But again, I need to click on this layer and make sure it's behind my head to be back there. I don't need this layer. So those attributes are already posted in Google Classroom. So you just go to the Effects tab, which is down here. So when I'm on my type layer, I'll just go up here. I'm going to hide that. If I'm on this golf layer or this type layer, go down here, and then the bevel and emboss, change all these numbers. That's where you do everything, is this FX here when you're on your type layer. So that's one option. And this layout is nice because I have a clean background. But what happens if I have a busy background? One thing, I can change my background, but I kind of like this. Obviously, this effect is going to be too busy with all of these people, so I'm not going to do that. This here, oops, this layer, you could see here what I did is in Photoshop. Let me just bring this up. In Photoshop, I typed Golf Digestiva, but I wanted to play with the type. To do that, I have to go back to Illustrator. So in Illustrator, here's my type with the font that I like. This Rockline I found was really cool. And then I copied it. And this is just a quick review. Go to type, I think create outlines, Shift Command O. So now in preview mode, remember, now I can manipulate. So what I did here, I deleted the O, I drew a little circle, go back to outer preview mode, and then I was just playing with the individual points here with the white arrow tool. Oops, down here, my bad. To try to create this point. So this is just quick review. So if you want to make your masthead more like a logo where you're manipulating the text, what I did then is I copied and pasted this in white, copied and pasted this directly into Photoshop, and when I pasted it, I made sure it was a smart object so that, oops, so that this is here like that. So it's more like art. All right, so if I want to use this, I'm going to go to my color and use the eyedrop tool there. So if I wanted to do this, I would just go to Effects, Drop Shadow, and while this is up, I would look to see what happens if I change the multiply. That's a little bit darker. Maybe the distance, maybe the spread, maybe the size. Play with this, and you can see immediately using the drop shadow, without retouching the background, which I could also go and burn this background image like we did with our cast shadow down here, but immediately I've already done that. Now the one thing that bothers me, let me hide this for, oh, not this, let me hide, where's that at? This. So the one thing that bothers me is I have all this space here in my layout. In most magazines, they do have the figure is much larger. So I might move that down and have the head overlap just a little bit. What I don't like, though, is this golf club really just touching the edge. I can either really bleed it off like that, but that looks weird to me, or just eking it right inside. Okay, another thing is Command R shows you these rulers. I want to make sure all of my text is within a margin. I'm going to say it's about a ½ inch. And if your screen looks like mine where these numbers are huge, go to your, is it your settings? It should be in your settings. Let me fix this first. Finish doing what I'm doing. I think Photoshop, settings, units, instead of ruler where it says pixels, take it to inches. That way I can make sure, okay, so if I want this to be, this right here is 1 inch, I'm going to give myself a 1/2 inch. You should always at least have a 1/4 of an inch. I'm giving myself extra. Now the art bleeding outside of that rule is fine, but my text, any words later, because we're going to be adding other things. This is our other rule. Now if I hold Command colon key, I can hide those rules. So if I just want to see what my layout looks like, but Command colon will bring that back so I can make sure all of my text, my important content. So I could make this a little bit bigger. That might be a little bit too big, just so that everything is fitting. And again, if you look at your magazine cover references, I might slide this back over there. I dig that. And I know my art is covering the title, but like all the other magazines, sometimes, if you're familiar with it, but something like a busy background like this, I might just do a solid color with a drop shadow versus something that's got like a simple background. I'm going to make this bigger. I want to give my text some kind of cool effect just to make it a little bit more interesting. And that is pretty much it. These drive me crazy. There we go. So do your masthead.